Hi, welcome back to the Revell 2013 Ford Mustang build. This is the second part of the interior. I started out by clipping out the parts from the sprue as usual. And then these were given a quick clean up on the sprue tabs. Then we moved on to some primer. For this I'm now using some of the Zero Paints grey primer, and here I started off with the interior card. This primer is a little bit easier to see given that we're spraying onto white plastic. This video is a bit of a mix of camera angles. As I said, I've been practicing with different cameras and angles and things like that, and I feel that I've now got it sorted out, not with this clip here but later on. I've mounted the camera to the top of the spray booth, which gives a much better angle and much better colour. You can see things much better, my hands don't get it in the way. I'm also trying to make the videos a bit quicker, as they have been taking up some time. Okay, so now moving on to some Tamiya light grey. This is I wanted the those squares in the centre console to be a different colour, so I started out by spraying those with the light grey. I also started spraying the steering wheel with the light grey, but I decided later on to change it to a dark grey to match the rest of the dark grey interior. And the dashboard section, I decided to do this as a two-tone, so I'm doing some light grey on the body section, and then the top section will be done in dark grey later. So moving on to some German grey, I use some Vallejo, and after masking out the light grey sections on the centre console, I sprayed with the dark grey. As I said before, I can't recommend the Vallejo paints enough, they are superb. And I masked out the light grey sections on the dashboard and sprayed the top section with the dark grey. This is now the camera angle I've settled with. I think this gives you the best views. I'm open to comments and suggestions, so please leave them below if you have any. As I said, I'm trying to make the videos a bit quicker as well. As I said, I decided against the light grey on the steering wheel, so I sprayed this with some of the dark German grey as well. Now applied some Zero Paints Goss Black to the bulkhead section. The instructions actually call for this to be a semi-gloss, but I find with the Zero Paints, if you spray it in the right way, you can get a semi-gloss appearance, and it's much stronger than the acrylic paints. So now I use some Vallejo Black, and I painted this onto the rear view mirror, which was modelled all in chrome. I've sped this up as it took quite a while. It was a little bit fiddly. Okay, and then we moved on to some Zero Paints Metallic Blue, and I sprayed the engine bay. This needed several coats due to all the nooks and crannies of the piece. It was quite difficult to spray. And here I'm removing the masking tape from the centre console from the light grey sections. As you can see, the light grey just breaks up that piece. And some more Vallejo Black. This time some details on the dashboard. I've sped this up because this detail painting does take a while, so I've made this quicker for you. This is colouring in the vents. Excuse my bald head getting into the shot. Then I used a sharpened cocktail stick to colour in the little buttons and things like that. Moving on with some Vallejo Chrome. I just did the vent sliders and some other little buttons on the dashboard. Again with a sharpened cocktail stick. And then some chrome on the steering wheel controls. And then gluing the steering wheel onto the console. And then moving on to the bulkhead. I believe this is the master cylinder for the braking system and the braking fluid reservoir. So I stuck that in with some 4-second CA glue, and then it called for some gunmetal. again, I've sped this up for your convenience. And now moving on to the assembly, I'm gluing the rear seats into the cockpit section. You can see in the background that I've actually flocked the carpet section of the interior. Unfortunately, I had some camera problems and I lost some footage. This was down to the SD card not being fast enough to record HD video. This has now been resolved, so I shouldn't be losing any more footage. And then gluing the front seats in. Control with gluing this, I tend to squeeze a little bit of the glue out onto a piece of masking tape and then use a cocktail stick to apply it rather than trying to apply the whole bottle. I just find this easier in some cases, particularly with this very, very thin CA glue. It runs very, very easily. And that's gluing the bulkhead into place and then gluing the centre console into place as well. And now the fixing in of the door cards. To do this, I put them in place with some tape to start with, so they were held exactly where they needed to be. And fitted in the dashboard. And once it's all held in place, I then applied some Revell contact adhesive to the seam lines. And once that was all dry, I then removed the tape. And that's it for the interior. Thanks for watching. Any questions and comments, please leave them below. I'd be interested in comments about the length of the video, the speed of the video, and those sorts of things. Okay, and thanks for watching.